I'm not playing this game that you mean girls play.
Yes.
Where like, oh, you know what? You can't sit at my lunch table because I'm just not talking to you. And you also have to respect that, you know, the guy did win. It's more than half the country or whatever. I mean, you know, yes. I keep saying it. I'm not going to hate. You can not like Trump. You can hate him. You can't hate everybody who vote for him.
Yes.
I don't hate half the country, and I don't want to hate half the country.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not where my mind ever wants to go for my own mental health.
Yeah.
Is all this hate.
Yeah.
So yes, I will talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And it's you know, it's an honor to be invited to the White House under any circumstances.
Absolutely.
Even Bill Maher knows the left has gone too far. From refusing to hate half the country to questioning the woke agenda, Maher's recent comments are eye-opening. Why is a comedian suddenly the voice of reason in American politics? We'll break down his take on visiting the White House and his refusal to play the "you can't sit with us" game. I'm here to tell you why Maher's message about respecting Trump voters is crucial. Don't miss our take on why Bill Maher's sanity check on the left is something everyone needs to hear. All right, everyone, you all know where I stand. I'm someone who believes in common sense and American values, but that doesn't mean I can't recognize when someone on the other side of the aisle says something that actually resonates. And folks, lately comedian Bill Maher has been dropping some truth bombs that more people, especially on the left, desperately need to hear. Let's be clear, I don't agree with Bill Maher on a whole lot of things, but his recent comments about visiting the White House and his attitude towards those criticizing him for it, frankly, deserve applause from anyone who's tired of the hyper-partisan nonsense that's tearing this country apart. He said it himself. He's not playing this game. You mean girls play. You can't sit at my lunch table. I'm not talking to you. Think about that for a second. This is a prominent liberal voice calling out the childish and frankly authoritarian behavior of those who demand absolute ideological purity. If you dare to engage with someone they deem the enemy, you're suddenly persona non grata. This "you're either with us or against us" mentality is toxic, and Maher is spot on for calling it out. He also had the audacity, the sheer common sense, to say, you have to respect the guy did win. It is more than half the country. You cannot like Trump. You can hate him. You can't hate everybody that voted for him. I don't want to hate half the country, not where my mind wants to go for my mental health. I will talk to anybody. Now for some on the far left, this is practically heresy. How dare he suggest that people who voted differently aren't inherently evil or irredeemable? How dare he prioritize dialogue over demonization? Well, I say it's refreshing. It's a sign that maybe, just maybe, some folks on the left are starting to realize that constantly living in a state of outrage and division isn't healthy. Not for them, and certainly not for the country. And let's talk about this whole woke culture that Maher often takes aim at. This is where a lot of his common sense really shines through. We see this woke ideology seeping into every aspect of our lives, from education to entertainment to corporate America. It's an ideology that often prioritizes victimhood, enforces a rigid and often illogical set of rules, and seeks to silence any dissenting voices. Frankly, the woke left seems more interested in virtue signaling and performative activism than in actually solving problems. They'll obsess over pronouns while ignoring real economic hardship. They'll tear down historical figures without understanding the context of their time. They'll demand censorship in the name of safety, creating echo chambers where dissenting opinions are not just disagreed with, but actively suppressed. This isn't about progress. It's about control. It's about creating a society where you're constantly walking on eggshells, afraid to say the wrong thing for fear of being canceled by the online mob. And it's incredibly divisive. Instead of bringing people together, it creates more resentment and animosity. Think about the implications of his mean girls mentality Maher described. It's not just about who you can sit with at lunch, it's about who gets to participate in the public discourse. If you don't adhere to every tenet of the woke orthodoxy, you're labeled as bigoted, hateful, and unworthy of being heard. This isn't dialogue. It's ideological bullying. Maher's willingness to even visit the White House, regardless of who's in office, is a testament to a basic level of respect for the institutions of our country. He understands that engaging, even with those you disagree with, is crucial for a functioning democracy. The fact that this is considered newsworthy speaks volumes about how polarized we've become. Steve even questioned when the last time Biden's team invited someone from the other silo. Kaylee couldn't recall an example. This lack of cross-political engagement at the highest levels mirrors the intolerance we see in the broader culture. And let's touch on the Zelensky comment. Maher joked about not dressing like the Ukrainian president, saying he wants to dress for success. Some might see that as insensitive, but I see it as a bit of levity in a very serious situation. And again, a refusal to be dictated to by the prevailing narrative. He's making a point about maintaining his own identity and not simply conforming to expectations. The woke left often demands a level of conformity that stifles individuality and critical thinking. You have to parrot the approved talking points, use the approved language, or face the consequences. Maher, in his own way, is pushing back against this. He's saying, I'll engage, but I'll do it on my own terms. And that's something we need more of across the political spectrum. Now I know some of you watching might disagree with me, and that's fine. Healthy debate is essential. But I think it's important to recognize when someone, even someone whose political leanings are different from your own, offers a valuable perspective. Bill Maher, in his recent commentary, has done just that. He's highlighted the dangers of extreme polarization and the absurdity of ideological purity tests. He's reminded us of the importance of dialogue and the need to treat those with different viewpoints with a modicum of respect. The woke-led needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Their tactics of demonization and division are not only harmful to the country, but they're also alienating potential allies. If they truly want to achieve their goals, they need to learn to engage in good faith with those who hold different beliefs. They need to stop the virtue signaling and start focusing on real solutions. And maybe, just maybe, they could learn a thing or two from Bill Maher's recent dose of common sense. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode of Black Coffee Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, you know what? You can't sit at my lunch table because I'm just not talking to you. And you also have to respect that, you know, the guy did win. It's more than half the country or whatever. I mean, you know, yes. I keep saying it. I'm not going to hate. You can not like Trump. You can hate him. You can't hate everybody who vote for him.
Yes.
I don't hate half the country, and I don't want to hate half the country.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not where my mind ever wants to go for my own mental health.
Yeah.
Is all this hate.
Yeah.
So yes, I will talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And it's you know, it's an honor to be invited to the White House under any circumstances.
Absolutely.